Good morning, children. Welcome to the third lesson further on Windows 7. Previously, we had learned about binary, and the first chapter which we had learned was about the revision of last week. Today, we'll begin with the third lesson further on Windows 7. Now, what is actually Windows 7? It's an operating system. And in Windows 7, when you install an operating system, few applications come along with it. So what are those applications which will come along with it? Or you can also call it as a built-in components present with OS. So the first component which we are going to study today is the media player. So what is a media player? It's a computer program used for playing multimedia files such as music, videos, and movies. So to watch related to music things, you require a media player. That we had studied last year also. Now, the second thing which Windows 7 has is multiple windows work simultaneously. So you can open a Word document, you can open an Excel document, you can open a presentation, and so many applications at a time. But depending on the capacity of your RAM, that will decide. So if your RAM is slow, it's very low, then you cannot open many applications at a time. So if you open, what will happen is your system will become very, very slow. So depending upon the capability of your RAM, you have to open that many applications. Next comes the Windows 7 provides with the aggregate content like documents, music, pictures, and videos. So you have built-in folders of all these things in Windows 7. And if you don't have, you can create it. But by default in Windows 7, you have all these features. It also comes up with disk cleanup option. So when your system becomes very slow, your memory is giving you problems. So you have to at least do once a disk cleanup. So that what happens, unnecessary files from the system are being deleted and you get a free space in your disk. Because many times when we create an application, we delete it. The temp files are created of those files which you are practically not aware of. And they consume a lot of memory of your system. So they need to clear up. So this was regarding the disk cleanup option. Now, the first main topic which we are going to study for 7 is Windows Explorer, or you can say exploring your computer. So what all things are there in your computer tells you about. So just look at the screen, or you can just look at this picture. Many labels are being given. So what is actually exploring a computer? How many partitions you have in a hard disk, that you will come to know when you click your My Computer. My Computer will tell you how many partitions is being made in your computer. And this is the navigation tool. So what all folders are there inbuilt in Windows 7 that will be shown over here. This is the title bar where your title of the folder will be shown to you. At this bar, here what all contents are present inside the folder. With the just one drop down, you can see it. Here it's got a view option, in which kind of view you want to see, large, small, details, tasks. This we will go in detail today. Search bar, like if you want to search for a particular item and you don't remember where you have saved, you can just type it over here and search it. Preview button, to get a preview of that particular thing. Means I don't want to open the whole document, but I just want a preview. So I can just click on its preview. So I will get to know how it looks. What is the first page? Help button is used to provide you help with the things if you're not able to do in Windows 7. So related to that, whatever content is being present, you just can search on it and you can get the desired results. And here is your content area. Content area means the things present in that particular drive or in that particular folder or in that particular subfolder. So that is the content area where you have created your space. Then you have command bar in that, which will help you what commands are there. That All these things will go in detail. And this is the detail pane where the details of that particular file, folder created, who's the author and all will be written, and how much is the size of that particular file. If you are on a drive, it will show you the drive details. If you are on a particular file, it will show you the file details. So details pane is regarding that. And how you will go to this? You just click on the start button, which is normally present in your desktop that everyone is aware, and you can search over there computer. You click over here and then you can navigate yourself to the different contents present in your system. So first topic in that is title bar. So what is the title bar? It is the title of your WordPad or a Word which you are going to give it over here. By default, if you have opened a MS Word document, it will be document 1. If you have opened an Excel sheet, then by default it will be extension will be .xls, but it will be sheet 1, 2, 3. That is. So same way, depending on that. For example, for MS PowerPoint, it will be PowerPoint 1, 2, 3, so on. So for document, it is document 1, but you are supposed to rename it. In the beginning, it will take the by default name, but you are supposed to provide it. And when we specify the document name, the 3 things are there. Minimize, means you can minimize your screen. Maximize, you can bring it to the full screen of the desktop. And close means you are closing a particular application. Whenever you open any document, you get various tools present. You can use it for your document. In that you have a vertical scroll bar. If you have too many things to type, then automatically the scroll bar takes you down. If the lengthwise it is more, then the horizontal scroll bar is used. You can resize the corner means if you want a short screen, you can make it short. If you want a bigger one, you can make it big. Status bar will give you whether your caps lock, nouns lock, or whatever is off. Here you have a file menu. Now this is, I have taken a screenshot of the lower version, but you will not have a menu bar if you are going in the higher versions. But in the lower bar features, you will always get this. So this was regarding the title bar. Then comes the address bar. Now what is the address bar? See over here I have already shown you what is the address bar. Here you can just go on clicking on this drop down and you'll come to know how many things are displayed over here. First, by default, when you click on my computer, you will get the default drives present in your system, hard drive, how many partitions you have made. Then if you have a floppy disk which is outdated, so we don't have, you might have a DVD or a USB slot. Now USB slot, if you have inserted a USB, it will show over here. If you have not inserted a USB, your port won't be shown over here. So if it is active at that particular time, you have put in a pen drive at that particular time, then it will show over here and it will come in the topic devices with removable storage. And here you can insert a DVD and you can play it. So in the address bar, you can directly go and directly move on to the required item. Now the next topic is search bar. Suppose I don't remember where I saved my file, but I only remember the name of the file. Then I can just click on the search button. So right now I'll be showing you my computer option, what I am using, but for your case it will be different because you will be using different operating systems. So that will differ from computer to computer. So let me show you. So here I have clicked on my computer. Then I went the option over here for my computer. And now over here you can see is your search computer. So I can type over here whatever I want to search. I can type the name of the file. If I remember the extension, I can even type that. So that will help me to get the content very easily. So whenever I'll be typing something over here, you will get the list of items related to it. So you can search those results. You can click it and then you can store it at a proper location if you have by mistake forgotten. So this is regarding your search bar. Next important topic which comes over here is your command bar. In that window, command bar was shown very short. but this is actually a command bar window. It has got extra large icons, medium icons, small icons. It's also having a list, details, tiles, and content. So now what is actually a command bar? It will give you a preview or a different view change present in your folder or subfolder or in your drive. Now let me show you my screen example. Now this I have opened my computer screen. You can see I have got 3 partitions over here and I have got a DVD drive over here. Now if I want to change the view, so I will show you each and every example. First is extra large. I can see. With this extra large, I can see these are the partitions of hard drive and this is the partition of DVD. Second example is large icons. So in large icons, you will have an icon picture with this. So if there are many content in a whole screen, so many things can be visible. Medium, smaller than the large one. Small, it will be very tiny, if you can see. So it is very difficult for us to see it. List will give you a proper list. It will go according to the devices you have. Details, it will give you the total size and the free space available. So this view, it will show. Next is the tiles. This is the normal view, which I normally keep because with this, I get a clear view because it's a graphical representation according to me and I feel this is better. But that will differ from computer to computer and from user to user. And the last view is the content view. So it gives a brief view of your drives. Now NTFS is a type of, this comes when you install an operating system. But regarding this, I cannot tell you right now more because you won't understand in detail. Because next year you already have this topic and you can go in this detail regarding this. Over here also a better view of the hard disk portion being consumed is being shown. But normally people prefer is the tile view because it's a short, sweet representation. So by default, I have shown you one picture over here, but I actually showed you the different types, how it is being seen over here and how it looks. So in your computer also you can have a look at it. So you will get a more brief idea about it. After this comes the preview. Preview means, suppose I have opened a folder, but I don't want to open that particular file. I just want to see what all contents are there in the beginning of that file. So what I will normally do is, I'll do this. What is this? I will just go to the preview pane over here and it will show you the things present in that particular file. So here only 2 lines were written, so it is showing 2 lines. If it is an image, it will give you the small screenshot of that image. So you will come to know which all images are there. So this will give you a short preview or like how icons tell you how the things are, which it belongs to which kind of application. So same way over here, if you know a file and if you don't want to open it, you just can have a glance of it, like what all are the things present in the beginning. So that will give you a preview of it. So this was regarding preview. After this comes the main important thing, navigation. Navigation means, like you have heard about the word GPS, which takes you from one place to another place. So no need to ask someone whether to take a left or right to reach that particular destination. So in computer, we have got a navigation pane which takes you from one place to another place easily. See, this is the by default thing which is present in our system. And it will differ from OS to OS. So if you have a higher version, you will have much more things than this. I'm using a 7, so this will be the window. And in your textbook also, this kind of things are being shown because we are referring to OS 7. In the navigation pane, if you just click on these things, you will come to know what all things are present in your system. So now let me show you. Just now I've taken a screenshot. Now let me show you. Like I click on this. This is the navigation. This will take you, highlight me the things which are present. So this is going to show me the glance, what all things I have. So plus means many days are the main folders and minus are the subfolders present inside. So these are the things which help you to takes navigation from one side to another. Now when I click on this, I get details downside. For example, when I click on my computer, it will show me like I have got a RAM of 8 GB. So that is my details. If I click on this particular thing, more details about this will be shown over here. So that is regarding the details page. And the white space, which you can see over here, is the content area. What is the content area? It is the displayed in the address bar. Like over here, these are the contents. If I click more on it, I can know what all things are more there. Here I have a very small list, but if you go in corporates and all, you will have multiple folders present over here. So they don't go on searching like this. So they normally use the content area. They just go and they know the exact location of them. So it becomes easy for them to work because they have many folders and subfolders. So this is actually the content area. So what all contents are present in that particular folder. So now next topic comes the content area, which I have already shown over you. And here I have taken just a small screenshot to show you what all folders. Like I have created a users folder and these were the different folders present inside it. So next, the main important thing. Like we normally say, your parents control you. Same way for an electronic device, to control it, we require a control panel. So what is the control panel? It's a component of Microsoft Windows that provides the ability to view and change the system settings. See, everything, like we are humans, some things are settled in us. Like we don't like to do, so we don't do that particular thing. So we try to control ourselves. But sometimes some things are beyond our control. But it is not the case with the electronic devices. Everything is being set. And if it is not working properly, then there is sound disturbance created in the settings of it, so that that particular thing is not working properly. So what is the control panel? It consists of a set of applets that include applets mean applications that includes adding or removing the hardware and software, controlling user accounts, changing its accessibility options, and accessing network settings. Now, these two things are very important nowadays. Changing the accessibility options and networking settings. Right now, we both are working online. You people are also online, and I am also online half of the day. So we have finding many a times different sets of problems. So that is related to the range. You might not have particular range at that particular range. Your bandwidth is consumed too much. You are not able to go online, or else your data pack is being used up. So there are many things. So it depends. You have to every time see how much is your requirement, how much you are using it. Using means consuming it. So that depends on the devices you are using. Suppose you are having internet at home. So normally you fetch it a router and you use it on different devices. You can use it through your laptops or mobile phones and etc. So what happens? The net particular whatever you have taken gets divided in the devices being used. So that particular router has to divide that net into various devices so that it is accessible. So the whole control panel. So if I want to change the settings, I have to take the router app, whichever brand's router I have taken. In that setting level, I have to prefer the devices which should have a top priority and which should have a least priority, and then accordingly set. But here we are not going to learn that. Over here in the control panel, like date settings, what RAM, what speed I have got, what are the mouse settings, and all that we are going to see in this particular chart. But this is all related to control panel, so you can easily control the. So now, what is actually a control panel? This is the screenshot I have taken for you to show you how the control panel looks. Now let me show it's working. Now here is my start button. I will directly click on the control panel. So this is my control panel. I have right now viewed it by category. I can view having large icons. Using large icons, you can see it is easily accessible. Then I can change one more look of it. I can make it smaller. So in short also I can see all things clearly. So depending on your view, you can keep it. Right now, I normally keep it at category wise because I don't want all the things to be visible. In that, the first thing we are going to study is the date and time. Now, relating to date and time, can you see system and security? No, it cannot be related to date and time over here. Network and internet, no. But all these other things are going to use the date and time. So where according to these labels, you will find date and time, yes. Looking at this icon, you will easily come to know date and time settings has to be present over here. So when I click on the clock, language and region, I'll get the two types of settings, that is date and time and region and language. So first let me show you date and time. So when you click on date and time, you will get this particular dialog box which will show you the date and time. My date and time is already adjusted, so it is showing the correct way which is present over here. But according to your thing, your computer, if you have set the different dates and time, you need to change it over here. So if it is wrong, you can go over here and change it. There is not a big issue regarding this. You can also have additional clocks. So suppose if you are working, like we have a daytime over here, and if your friends are abroad and whose timings are different, so you can put one more clock over here to know what are the timings, and then accordingly you can contact them. So internet date and time, it takes the by default internet date and time which is present on the net. So this is regarding the date and time setting. Now the next type of it comes the fonts. But first let me show you the other. So in clock and date and time, I showed you this. So you have to click on this and then change your date and time. And then other way around is you can just go on the taskbar present on your screen. There is this kind of an icon present in the end, not you can say an icon. By default, date and time is shown on the right hand side corner. You can double click on it and you will get this kind of window over here. Double click means that previous window will be shown. If you just click once, this kind of small thing will be shown to you. And here also you can change the date and time setting. So you can directly go whichever way is comfortable for you, you can use it. After this comes the second axis thing, which is font. Now what is the font? The way of writing. Like every child has a unique way of writing the things on a paper. Same way in computer, there are different sets of font available. Now as a Indian country, you know there are so many types of different languages. So you can have all those different kinds of fonts, but you first need to learn how to write this. It's not just installing that font. It is, you should even know how to type out. By default, you know English very well because all our alphabets on the keyboard are English, written in English language, whether it's a caps lock or a small, but it is normally used and you are well versed with it. So you don't have a doubt. But if you are using fonts like Hindi, Marathi, then you need to learn it. But how to use it? Even if I know Hindi, do I really know to type it? It depends on the font I'm using. So every font has got its internal settings. Every letter is being written in a different way. So that we need to first install the font and then see what are the settings for it and accordingly type it. So how to go for fonts? Let me show you. Now this is my control panel. I have made a larger view so it becomes easy for you. Now here you have to search for the font. See, in this first column there is no font. In the second column I can see over here is fonts. I will just click on it. So you will come to know what all fonts are present in my system. It is getting loaded. So see, so many fonts. We actually don't understand what is the actual name because here they have a different name written, and when we access it through a Word document, maybe Excel, PowerPoint or Word, the names are different. So this is actually the files of fonts which I have already installed and kept for you. And if you are using some Marathi Hindi font, so first you need to download the font from internet and then you need to install that font. Means you have to copy that font over here, right click it and install that particular font over here. By default right now I have already done. But if you want a particular font which is not there in your system, then you can always download it from the internet and install it in this particular folder. You copy it and then double click it so it gets installed. So right now I have got so many fonts over here. You also will be having. Now, for example, I have downloaded few more. So my number is more over here. So I have totally 1,907 fonts, items Y over here. I have those many fonts over here. Now your system will be having different fonts so that you can check into your computer. If you have a higher version OS, then you will have pretty good number of more fonts than it. So this was regarding the fonts. So you can have the different things in from. You can have a preview, print, hide, copy, and the properties of a font. But right now, actually, you don't know it's working, so it is of no use actually. But I will only show you the preview and hide, so you will get a better idea. Now I have already shown the fonts over here. I will just go and show you the preview of it. So this way, this font. I can even delete the font. I can even hide the font if I want. I can print it. Here the font name is written. Here which version it belongs to. So same name can have different versions and true type outline. So this is the way it has been shown over here. And this is the font size at 12, how it looks, 18 and so on. So this way is the preview. I will show you one more preview. So this is the preview of the font. Right now I don't have a printer, otherwise if I give a print command, it will also print for me this thing. So this was regarding the. Now the next important thing we are going to study in this after this is mouse and keyboard. Now just now we have learned about the control panel, what is going to control us. So same way over here, we are going to now change the mouse and the keyboard settings. So what are the mouse and the keyboard settings? Like in the keyboard, we can always press left shift plus left alt and the number key to switch on your mouse keys. Or these are the other way around to make it. Now how to change the mouse and setting key? Right now I've taken a screenshot, but I'll show you accordingly. Now I have a keyboard option over here. I will just click on it and I will get the keyboard and mouse setting over here, whether it should be long, short, slow or fast, depending on my. Now here the blinking speed of the cursor is also. If you want to change, you can always change. Which kind of keyboard I'm using is PS2 keyboard. If you have, say, install a new one. Say if your laptop keys are not working or your desktop keys are not working, then externally you have connected a keyboard. So that you first need to install it. So those properties will be shown over here. So these are the keyboard settings. So this is regarding your keyboard settings. You also have a mouse setting in this. So mouse setting, so here with the icon you will come to know. So in the mouse setting, you can have different buttons, which kind left, right buttons. If your mouse is much more advanced, it is just like your joystick and all, then you need to change over here. You will have different types of pointers. By default, I have used the normal arrow one. You can use these any kind, whichever is comfortable for you. So these are the different mouse pointer options, you can say. Then this is regarding the pointer option. It should be slow, fast, automatically, and so on. Wheel, like I have set it by default according to the OS, it is set as 3 at a time. You can always change it the way you want. Hardware, if you are depending on what all things you have in, what all hardware you have installed in your system, that will define over here. And the device settings. So this is by default when you install the OS, this gets inbuilt. So you don't have to sit and type over here, only you need to change the settings. So this is regarding the keyboard and mouse settings. So right now I think you must have understood how to change the mouse and keyboard settings, but by default it is set by the OS, so no need to change. But if there is a keyboard creating issue, then you need to change it. So there is one more option in this: use the computer without a mouse or a keyboard. So suppose your keyboard is not working properly, then you have an on-screen keyboard. That also I'll show you. So over here, click on the start button and type on screen. You will get turn on screen keyboard on and off. So this will be shown to you, and then you can use these tools to use the on-screen keyboard. So we have studied about the mouse buttons also. If the mouse buttons are not working properly, then you can just change the settings of it and try to use it if it is working. And now the last thing of this chapter. Once you have switch on, you also need to switch off. But there are various options in this. Previously, when we had an OS, we only had shutdown and restart option. Then we came up with switch users when we knew the word networking. Log off was also come when we came to know about the different accounts which we can create on an OS. Then we also had a lock, how to lock a computer by using passwords and all. Restart means to reboot the whole system again. And then we came up with sleep and hibernate. Hibernate is the next thing. This term we'll learn about sleep. What is sleep? It's a kind of mode which where the settings are saved in the memory and on the hard drive. This draws a very small amount of power and allows you to quickly wake up the computer and resume your work. Like you have multiple files kept on, and you just click on the start button and you select the option sleep. So like how you go off to your sleep. Same way here also, computer will just keep all your files on which you have kept before shutting, before going to the sleep mode. Same thing, and when you get up, the same thing once you start your computer, the whole thing will be shown to you. So that is called the sleep mode. So today, in today's session, we have learned about media player. We have also learned about exploring the computer. Then in exploration, we learned about navigation, content, and different address bars and search bars which are present in it. We also learned about control panel. In control panel, we learned about date and time settings and fonts, and also we came to know about changing the mouse and the keyboard. And last not the least, we also knew about the sleep mode. So what does actually sleep mode is saving the power of your hard drive. So take care, stay home, stay safe.